Well, what is up, everyone? It is time for the episode 6, The Last of Us review. I think I'm going to start calling these like toxic reviews or something. Might have to just start calling them that because literally all that we're doing throughout this is just shitting on the show, shitting on Druckmann, shitting on Bella, God forbid, shitting on Bella. What the fuck? How dare we do such a thing? And Druckmann tried. He's trying. He definitely, I saw some effort there, especially at the beginning of this episode. But by the end of it, Jesus fucking Christ, it was like that stormtrooper that like fell down the bleachers in that one joke clip that I used. It just went off the rails so badly that I was like, I seriously contemplated like watching the rest of it at times 2 speed. It got so bad towards the end. Jesus fucking Christ. What's up, John? What did you think of this? What do you think of this shit, man?
Well, it was progressively, let's make everybody hate Ellie more. Let's make Joel more of a poor, pathetic puppy dog who can't ever defend his own decisions. And also Seth came back. The GOAT, let's go. 10 out of 10 peak fire, bro.
Yes. And because I think people were starting to like Seth a little bit after what was it, episode 4. So Druckmann had to remind everyone how much of a bigot he is and basically rehash the scene from episode 1 where he calls Ellie and Dina D-Ikes. And I just I hated Ellie even more after this episode. I hated Joel even more after this episode. All I wanted was for Joel to just like tell Ellie to go fuck herself. I would have given the episode a 7 out, maybe even an 8 out of 10. If he would have just told Ellie to go fuck herself. Like, Ellie, go fuck yourself, you little cunt.
Snitches get stitches, Ellie. He just starts beating her with the rifle,
ratting her out. Go get some of that Dina pussy. Like everybody else in this camp did, including myself.
Timbers.
Right? Go get some of that Dina pussy, like everyone in the camp probably has.
They gotta have Mari,
and then come back and talk to me, because like Jesus fucking Christ,
they're gonna have a Jerry Springer episode with Dina whenever she has her baby. He'll be like, was it Jesse? Was it Seth? Was it Joel?
I think we should start spreading the rumor online that it's Seth, because, will Ellie love the child of the bigot? Will Ellie learn to love the child of the bigot?
I think
that'd be a very compelling story for a season 3.
I think the baby is saying its first words. Bigot, take. No.
Like I would not be shocked if they scrap season 3, if they pull an Acolyte and scrap season 3 at this point, because this show is just dying.
I think one of the directors or somebody was saying, I just saw on Twitter as I was logging on to click the link, that somebody involved with the show said, we need 4 seasons to really tell the full story.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So they might stretch it out even more.
Just like no Ellie at all. How about just no Ellie at all in season 3?
I mean, there might be. If it follows like the game, you really don't see her.
Of the fan base is like the creative decision to do this. What's left of the fan base is only holding on for. I get a feeling that another chunk is going to leave probably after this episode. A lot might ride it out for the rest of the season, and then next season it's going to be all Abby, which. At this point, I think everybody's forgotten about her. Even the non-gamers who are watching the show probably already forgotten about her. So when you open up season 3 with Abby, they're going to be like, I don't really want to watch this.
Well, especially because they gave that little bit of her backstory that they didn't give in the game. So like, at least in the game, it's like a mystery. And then in the show, they're like, oh, well, her dad was killed, so that's why she killed Joe. So that honestly feels like more conclusive. So people who watch the show only are going to be really confused, even though they've probably already looked up spoilers and are going, all right, I have to act really surprised when I see this scene and I'm doing my reaction now that I've watched all the game cutscenes. And Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
I'm
forgot how
sure they
authentic
were.
they are.
I'm sure they were crying their eyes out over this episode and the porch scene, which Druckmann says in the inside the episode, like, we have to get this one right. It's so near and dear to everybody's hearts. We have to get this scene right, and you're not going to get the scene right with Bella Ramsey there. And like Bella, just like, I don't know, like Bella wearing the fucking astronaut helmet.
She looked very much at home in her special ed helmet.
Yep.
Joel had to, after she got up on that dinosaur and he thought she was going to fall off and kill herself. He was like, well, Ellie, you got to wear this for your own protection. I'm sorry. You're too stupid.
Glitch Man for $5. Tis another flashback episode. Not like we've ever been down that road, but hey, there's more Seth. Always a fresh breath into our hearts he strode. Yes, but you got to leave that nasty lasting impression for Seth. Might be the last we ever see Seth. And like Druckmann like tries to turn Seth into like a fucking idiot. Like, so he's an ex-cop. What a surprise, he's an ex-cop. And he can't spell, apparently. He can't spell the name Ellie when he made her a birthday cake.
I just wrote down Seth is the smartest because he thought Ellie was a boy, and later on she discovered that she was whenever she decided to be a dad.
Ah, there you go.
Seth would let her discover her true self. You're welcome from Seth.
Eli.
Yeah.
They're going to name the baby Eli.
There you go.
There you go. Holy fucking shit, you guys. So
I thought that was a dude. What the hell? Ellie.
We don't know, man. We don't know. Yes, it is the woke of us. You know, I honestly thought the first maybe 20 minutes or so of this episode wasn't bad. I was like, you know, maybe we'll get a thumbs up episode. Maybe we'll get like maybe it'll be like an episode 1 and 2 of season 1, which I thought were the only 2 good episodes of the show. And yep, then the woke of us came in. We'll get to that. It got very much. I thought it was funny. The reason that Ellie decided to move into the garage was revealed, and it was because Joel did not approve of her fooling around with a girl. And that was the reason that Ellie wanted to move into the garage, because Joel was a little bit like Seth in the episode, man.
Well, they called out their own bad writing, because he literally walks into the room and she's doing drugs, having a person over to have sex with, which is luckily a girl. I guess she can't get pregnant then, so that's good. And then what was the other? Oh yeah, the tattoos. Yeah. And he even calls it out. He's like, all the teenage shit at once. And I'm just like, yeah, that is what they just did in this scene, Joel. Thank you. Like, I feel like Pedro's just calling out the script. Like, we're really just throwing in all the cliches to get this out of the way in 2 seconds.
Yep.
Look, honestly, there's a schism.
Honestly, I thought the best part of the episode, ironically, was the very beginning. Tony Dalton, a.k.a. Lalo Salamanca from Better Call Saul, makes an appearance. And a much better show than this, by the way. Lalo Salamanca was playing Joel's dad in a flashback at the beginning of the episode. I couldn't help but think to myself during that scene that he would have been a better choice to play Joel than Pedro.
A lot of people would have.
I know. Yeah, I just couldn't help but think. I'm like, yeah, he looks more like fucking Joel than fucking, even with the mustache. He looks more like Joel than fucking Pedro does.
Pedro can't even grow a mustache, so he looks even worse trying to emulate Joel. And just as a side note, Joel's a white guy in the game, so they lean into the Hispanic casting for him in this,
right? And we got the Eugene story, but like at this point, nobody gives a shit. I don't know why they decided to put that in now. Like, I couldn't help when watching this episode. Like, shouldn't like what we got in this episode have been like stretched out for this entire season, and then the series or the season end with Joel getting killed? Like, wouldn't that have worked a lot better? Left the audience on a like cliffhanger with a fucking hate bone. Well, I guess he didn't want us to have a hate boner for Abby, but like ended the season like with something to like look forward to. And like now it's just like we're going into the next episode, and I guess it's just going to be Ellie's going to kill some people, and then we're going back and doing this all over again in the next episode. It's all fucking over the place.
Yep, it's going to be day 3 tomorrow, or tomorrow. It's going to be day 3 next episode.
Day 3. Yep.
And then she'll kill the last couple of Allie's friend. Man, messing everything up. Abby's friends, and then it'll probably end with seeing Abby in their little base, and because that's how the game does it. Like Abby confronts you, and then it goes boom, day 1, and you're Abby or whatever. So I bet the season will end on a cliffhanger like that, switching to Abby.
Wait for that. I guarantee nobody's gonna watch. People are gonna tune in and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, you'll get a couple of them with the no way. We're gonna see it from Abby's perspective. Oh, that's for the cake scene with because Ellie. Oh, actually, I'm giving her too much credit. She just uses her hands, only her hands.
Oh, that's
that
right.
boy at least uses a spoon.
Yeah.
Ellie's just mushing cake all over her face like a fucking barbarian.
Good Lord, yeah.
If I was Joel, who presumes to be her father, I'd be like, "What the hell did I mess up raising you?" That's it. We're going back to beating.
Yep. So I guess we should get into the breaking down of this awful episode. So like I said, I thought that the first 20 minutes of this was like decent, and then it just completely falls off a cliff. So we kick off with a flashback to Joel and Tommy as kids. And that's Joel, by the way. And I guess they got into some trouble. Somebody was bullying Tommy or something, and Joel beat the kid up or something. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it looked like Tommy was trying to get some drugs, and then Joel noticed him. So to avoid Tommy getting in trouble for the drug thing, he goes over and starts beating the shit out of the guy he was getting drugs from, it sounded like.
Yep. And as you can see there, Joel's father is Lalo Salamanca from Better Call Saul, a significantly better show than this. He was great in that show. He was really great in that show, by the way. And he's demoted to one like flashback scene in this one afternoon. I hope they paid him well. What is with them bringing in these like big actors and then doing absolutely nothing with them? We didn't see Isaac in this episode. Isaac has gotten one episode.
Yep, and this guy, this scene isn't even in the game. So
this was added for the show.
Yeah, they added a little bit at least to. That's probably why it was better. It's because he didn't have to be restrained by his shitty game writing.
Yeah, well, because he wanted to put that line in there, the where Joel's dad says to Joel, like, you know, I hope you'll do better than me, and then he says that to Ellie at the end of the episode, like, oh my god, that's great writing. But
yep. Because Joel has to act like he's bad for what he did.
All right, what else do I got for this? There's that. Basically gives them a whole speech about like choices have consequences and everything, and it kind of sets up what we're getting later. He shares a beer with them.
Yeah, his dad beat him real bad and broke his jaws, and he's like, "Oh, I beat you kids, but not quite as bad. So hopefully you don't beat your kids at all." I don't know.
Unbelievable. Okay, so that's the flashback.
At least it was well acted without Bella in there.
Yeah, probably the best acted scene of the episode, I guess. So they brought Joel back for the intro. There he is. Yep, they brought him back. How long till they replace him with Dina? And then Seth is back.
Woo! Let's go.
Seth is back. Everyone's favorite.
You should do a splice of like them reacting to, I don't know, something they really liked, and then just put on the other side of the screen Seth returning. And just like one of the shows be like doing the shill face, like,
oh yeah,
just make it look like they're reacting.
Whenever he says Dykes, and then they're like clapping their hands, like, fuck yes. Yeah. The Louise Jolie, fuck yes.
Kyle Katarn doing the double jerk off.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So so basically nothing really to this scene. Oh, it's Seth was a cop apparently back in the day. Why does that not surprise me at all? You know, everybody hates cops. These people hate cops.
All cops are bigots, right?
Yep, exactly. So naturally, we got to make Seth a cop, even though he's also a complete idiot. So basically, Joel goes to him to ask him like for a trade. Trades for some Legos. Trades some Legos for a birthday cake.
Now, people think that those are like to give to his grandkids, like he said. Really, they're just the ultimate infected defense. You throw them down, they step on those things. They're so fucking painful. They're just like, they just instantly die.
Pretty much. Pretty
Seth, I wonder
much.
if Seth just like arrested lesbians all the time whenever he was a cop. He never actually arrested anybody who was guilty of anything.
Probably beat up minorities. Probably beat up minorities. Chat, what do you think, chat? One in the chat if you think Druckmann's lore for Seth is that he beat up minorities on the job. I would not be surprised. Bob Odenkirk would have made a better Joel than Pedro. Yeah, I'd have preferred that.
Pretty much, I mean, Hugh Jackman's the one everybody always says immediately.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I always said that too.
Yeah, because Logan came out like 3-4 years after this, whenever he had like the full beard and he was looking really grizzled and post-apocalyptic kind of setting. Mm-hmm. Not post-apocalyptic, but kind of like where they're living. But yeah, he's look at that. Can't even grow a stash.
Got the gray in it though. But isn't Joel older in the show than he is in the game?
I think in the first game, he's in his 50s, and the second game is supposed to be like 7 years after. Yeah, I think he might be like 50 and 57 or something.
I thought he was younger in the game for some reason.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it flashes around a lot too. I think he's like 30 when the outbreak starts or so. So yeah, somewhere around there.
So we get this flashback. So like every flashback, or at least like the first 3, were like all Ellie's birthday. So it's like every single one, Joel's giving Ellie a present or something. And I don't, it got really repetitive and annoying to me, like very quickly. I think the second one, I was like, is this what we're going to be doing? And sure enough, it was.
And the first one she's very appreciative of, which is like closer to Last of Us 1. And this is symbolic because Last of Us 1 Ellie is likable. Last of Us 2 Ellie, everybody hates. And of course, as it gets closer to Last of Us 2 time, she starts to become more of a bitch every time. You're taking me on patrol, but you're taking me on the easy patrol. I just want to die.
So like Ellie's like high on painkillers here. There's a Bella Ramsey screenshot. Classic. We get one every single time we do one of these streams. So she like burns her arm. So it explains the burn on her arm. She tries to like burn the bites off so she can wear short sleeves.
Yeah, this whole thing is filling in gaps that we already know the answer to. It's like she already told us this is why she did the burn, and then they make a whole scene out of it.
Yeah. And then she comes downstairs, and there's her eating the cake with her hands. There's Ellie and Joel having fun times together back when they're still close, which is what everybody wanted.
Oh, this is her cake scene where she just starts digging in with her hand.
Yep, you can see it there. And yeah, so Seth fucked up the cake, spelled Ellie's name wrong, because he's an idiot.
He just saw what all the rest of us saw, which is looks more like a boy.
So this is when Joel gives Ellie the guitar. And then anything else on this scene? Oh, there we go. Lazy eye.
Well, Pedro does talking singing, and I'm sure that they all think that he was tremendously talented, but I think basically he couldn't sing, so they have to have him just like mumble the lyrics the entire time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He sung here. It was really bad. Yes, Pedro sang, and I completely forgot about that. Yes, Pedro sang in this scene. It was terrible.
Well, and then like Ellie does the same thing that Dina does. They're like, oh my gosh, we have parallels, guys, because we have her go into the camera the entire time that he's singing, just like Dina does whenever she apparently playing the guitar is just like, I don't know. It's the most mesmerizing thing in the world.
Yep. I mean, he didn't really sing. He kind of just like talked lowly, kind of in tune, but it was terrible.
I think they probably tried it with him singing. It discovered that it sounded horrible, and then they were like, you just kind of mutter through it, Pedro, it's fine. You're supposed to be sad, so we'll just pass it off as that.
Right. Okay, then what happens? So we get another 1 year time. This is when I was just like, is this going to be her birthday again? And then sure enough it is. So they're hiking through the woods. And then so this is where it starts to get kind of shitty. So Joel thinks that Ellie is straight, or thinks that Ellie is normal. And so he's talking about her and Jesse. She's been hanging out with Jesse a lot. Like, are you a thing? And then you guys a thing? Or are you guys together? Do you like him? Yada. And then Ellie's just like, oh, you could not. You don't know how wrong you are, Joel. You know, because we as the audience know that she's she likes the pussy.
Yeah, she's
And
starting to.
yep.
He kind of talks to her like trying to make sure that she doesn't get pregnant at first. And I noticed that like Pedro didn't seem to believe it as he was saying it. And I just wrote down, even Pedro knows nobody is getting her pregnant. He's like trying to feign like that could actually happen. Like, oh, you know about the birds and the bees, Ellie. And she also said at the end of his song, that didn't suck. And I just wrote down, yes, it did. And then Ellie starts, climbing up on the dinosaur.
Oh, yep. So they find a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Ellie climbs to the top of it, like fucking weird thing during the inside the episode. I guess like the entire cast like climbed to the top of it as well, and like shot the scene all together. I think Druckmann climbed it.
Well, they're always crying and saying how much they love each other in the cast, so you know.
The East of Us. Oh my god! So yeah, so then I wish she would have fell. Like if she would have fell, and then Ellie fell, and then she spent the rest of the time in a hospital bed. It would have been much better. But you know, we're getting this. We got to show how close Joel and Ellie were before their eventual splitting up. And then they go to this museum. They go to the Space Museum. And do I even have anything on this? Like, I didn't take any. This is probably the least amount of notes I took on all of the the episodes.
This is where I like how in the behind the episode, you know those, I don't know if you've ever been in like one of these where it's usually in an astronomy type place like this where like the walls kind of rotate and it's meant to look like stars on the walls as you're kind of walking through it. Well, they made something like that for this episode. And in the behind the scenes, they're like so proud of that. I'm like, I've seen that at several like parks and shit that I've gone to. You guys didn't invent this technique to make it look like stars that you're walking through, or haunted houses even. But yeah, this is where Ellie puts on the helmet because after she climbed up on the dinosaur, Joel was like, oh, she's going to kill herself if I don't give her some protection.
Well, Holy Wars, there are no zombies in this episode. There are no infected in this entire episode. Now, like, which is very weird. Like, it doesn't feel like they're a threat in this show. Like, I don't know about you. Like, when I watch The Walking Dead, like, The Walking Dead had episodes without zombies in it, but, like, those, like, the seasons were significantly longer.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, okay, we could take a break from the zombies and everything. And like, you know, by the end of the episode or by the end of the series, like they kind of were just no longer a threat anymore, but they were always like still around. They were always like walking. They were always in the background a lot. You know, you still like felt their presence. Like with this, it's like you can easily forget that there's like an infection going on. It's more just like, you know, it's like, oh, the world ended. You know, a bunch of people died and we're just like at this point rebuilding. Like Ellie and Joel are just walking through the woods without a care in the world. Like there's nothing.
They're always doing that. Even like last episode when Dina and Ellie are walking through the streets, they're just yapping away in the middle of an open area. Like, and then the infected, yeah, they go by noise. So you would think like walking through the woods and yapping away or into a building like this. Like,
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's a change from the game because I think from what I remember, she starts to suspect when they find like dead fireflies and she asks him again, like, oh, did you really kill those? Like all these scenes are, yeah, there you go. All the Ellie Lightyear memes are going to go crazy.
Here we go. I got to post this. Real quick.
It's so funny because there's already been memes of Ellie Lightyear just because of her head and everything and her look. And they've been putting her onto Buzz Lightyear's body. And now they actually put her in a space helmet in this episode. And it looks, people aren't even going to need to make memes anymore. This show is doing it for us.
I think Druckmann and friends anticipated the Buzz Lightyear memes.
I'm gonna be an astronaut. Tell my son I love him. Ellie, you're not the father. Well, and he said, whenever he said in the behind the scenes, like, oh, this is such a huge, important scene, he said that, I remember in the last season, whenever Ellie runs away and Joel and Tommy have to go get her, they have a big emotional scene, which is great in the game, not so great in the show because it's Bella Ramsey acting, and Pedro doesn't fit Joel terribly well either. He can be a good actor, just not in this role, I don't think. And he compares, whenever he says that for this like porch scene in this episode, I'm like, are you trying to act like those two are the same? No, he gives a shit about the second game compared to the first.
Unbelievable. Oh, that was a funny one. Every time we do one of these reviews, we get these Ellie screenshots, and they're just
they make it too easy. Because I think they're telling her, like, emote more. And so she's just like, there are more.
Holy shit. Okay, where were we? Oh, yes, here we are. Here we are. To Autism and Beyond. So then they get in, and he buys her this. Somehow is able to procure like a I don't know what it is, like a audio
Walkman.
recording, a Walkman. Well, yeah, a Walkman, and then like an audio tape of
Yes.
like a astronaut countdown or something.
Yeah, I think it's a recording of one of the launches. So that's so even in 2003 is when the apocalypse took place. I feel like that would already be a pretty rare item, an A track of, or a tape of a moon launching takeoff. It's like, yeah. So I did say that Ellie is the Katy Perry of the post-apocalypse because she's acting like she's running the spaceship by just from sitting in it. Yeah, but it's pretty much, they do the countdown. She closes her eyes. She imagines she's there because in the first game, she's always collecting the sci-fi books. And this is all characterization and character build-up from the first game, which is the only thing that ever works. And why it worked in the game is because, it's the relationship that you built up. They would give little flashbacks like, oh, this is the game that you wanted to play for the sequel. Yoink, back to the one you didn't want. Bye. And they pretty much exhausted all their flashback scenes in this episode, so I don't think there's going to be much more Pedro after this.
I think this is, they kind of said goodbye to him in the inside the episode, so I think he's done, bro. I think he's done. I think he's gone.
Force Ghost later on,
maybe. I'll bet it'll be back for maybe like one scene or something in the next season, but yeah. Let's see if we can get it.
So whenever she's got her fingers in Dina,
look,
she's
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, fans of the show. I'm sorry, fans of Bella. I'm really not. But, they're the ones putting her on the screen. They're the ones putting her in this situation. They're the ones recording this and thinking that this is good to send out to the public, and we're not going to rip on it.
Like, Ellie.
Like they're the ones doing this. So we get this whole little sequence here, and this is basically just a filler episode at the end of the day. Like this was all just flashback filler, and giving the fans what they want. The season of the show they really wanted. So we're about the 23 minute mark now, and this is where the episode really starts to fall off. For me, at least.
Oh, yeah. This is a horrible, contrived way to get to it's like they set up all these people in a certain place, and then they're like, oh, shit, we never explained how they got there other than vague illusions. Quick. Just throw in a sudden conflict and a resolution that makes everybody hate each other. Perfect. It's like it's the most ham-fisted way, and this is Last of Us 2 storytelling, where it's emotional manipulation of a sudden degree. They're like, oh, suddenly Joel's going to do all these things that make it obvious that he's a liar all the time so that Ellie can figure out that he's a liar. He's just going to lie for no reason. Yeah, Yeah, this is.
Is
Oh,
this
I'm sorry.
another? Is
I
this
was a
another
little bit
time
early. I
jump?
thought they were running into Eugene.
No, that's not yet. We have
Yeah.
one more time birthday. We have one more birthday to get
Right.
to. Oh, this is where.
This is the drugs and tattoo
Yes,
birthday.
this is where Joel's bigotry comes out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so we had another. I don't know where. I think I just barely like missed the time jump. I think there's a time jump here.
Yeah, because they do the astronaut. She says, "Great job."
Yep, there you go. Another 1 year later.
1 year later.
So Joel comes in and there's Ellie buttoning herself back up, and because she's having fun with this chick. Does anyone know who this chick is?
I thought that was the patrol lady. Maybe I'm just imagining that.
Was that the chick from the first episode when they go on that patrol?
Well, they mentioned that Ellie had been with her in that episode, so I'm assuming this is her. I didn't really recognize her by face,
I didn't
but I'm
either.
like, how
No,
many
you just said
lesbians can there be
something.
in this town?
Right.
I mean, okay, it is with Kat. Okay, that's what Wade's saying. So, yeah, I figured it was her just by like process of elimination. I'm like, she can't have been with that many women by 19.
And yep, Joel's got we got a chocolate cake this time. Made
Yeah.
Seth make the chocolate cake, huh?
Yeah.
So
Well,
kicks her out, and then so Ellie's like on drugs, like smoking weed, smoking cigs, getting a tattoo, and with a chick. Getting down and dirty, and then so basically Joel yells at her, "Yes, let's go lesbians."
it's funny how Dina is into boys early and then discovers her true self is into women and in love with them. Ellie's into women early, but of course that doesn't change over time. It only ever goes one way, apparently.
Yeah, so Joel makes like some sort of comment like, well, why are you with a girl or something like that? And then that is it. That is it. Ellie is done, and Ellie is moving out, man. That was the last straw. Ellie is moving out of the house and into the garage because Joel had a problem with her being with a woman.
You're not my real dad anyway.
Oh, yeah, had to get that sign in there. Then here's Joel, sad Joel. He's going to bed. He's thinking about what a terrible person he is. Here's Ellie moving out. So rather than, give Ellie, slapping Ellie in the face like his dad used to slap him around, he's just the sensitive guy, lets her walk all over him, basically says, "Oh, I'll give you space if you want it. I'll build you a room in the garage and everything." Ellie, and this is like I wrote down in my notes here. Yes, Ellie, this is where Ellie being a bitch to Joel begins.
Oof. Yep. Ellie sucks at apologies because she's like, I'm sorry that I did those things, but I'm not.
Oh, she gave him the sorry, not sorry line. What a shock.
And I forget why, if it was this scene or the next one, but this is where it really struck me, where I'm like, these two do not have the game chemistry. Because like I'm picturing the game render of Joel and the even in Last of Us 2, which I don't think Ellie's as good of a character written as well, but she's at least better mocapped and acted than here. Now she has the shitty lines and a shitty actress.
Yep, and more sad Joel. I go to that one screenshot from the Last of Us 2 part 2 video game where Joel just has this like frown. Remember that? Just like every scene that we see him in this is the fucking frown, like sad Joel.
He's incapable of defending himself. It's like there's so many justifications.
Another one, sad Joel.
When is he just gonna be like, hey, I protected you for a whole fucking road trip. I got you across the country. I got you to this great town that we're now in, which is run by my brother, by the way. So that's the only reason you're even in here.
So he's fine with the tattoo now.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, it actually looks pretty good. Actually looks pretty cool, man. And then so there's this weird scene with the therapist again.
Yeah.
Like it's really short. Like there's he asks her about the moths, like Ellie's obsession with moths.
Yeah. And of course she's like the sassy potty mouth badass therapist. So,
Mm-hmm.
she said, oh, and she was apparently like that before her husband died. Later on, I think they tried to pass it off as like, oh, she's all depressed and drunk all the time because her husband died. Here, she's already acting the same exact way. So I guess her husband's death had no effect on her because we don't know how to do characterization.
Yeah, like what was even the point of this character? Like in episode 1, like they build to this like arc with Joel that he's like in therapy or something, and then well, he dies in episode 2 and they just drop everything. So like what was the whole point? What's the point of this character? Female, checks off a box, I guess.
I guess maybe it's to explain to the audience the emotional turmoil that Joel's going through. We have to just spell it out because that's good writing.
Yeah, so then we get another time jump here. This is to here. It's 9 months later, and like Ellie's like rehearsing, confronting Joel about what happened at Salt Lake, was it?
Yeah. She's reading off questions that she had about his rescue of her at the hospital.
Yeah.
She's poking plot holes in it. She's being a toxic grifter. She's pointing out flaws in his script.
Yep. So then Joel comes in to take her on her first patrol. Congratulations, Ellie. You're an adult now. Congratulations. So he takes her on the patrol. It's supposed to be an easy run, but then somebody radios to them like, oh, another patrol got attacked. We need you guys are the closest ones. We need you to go and rescue them.
It was that dumbass Eugene. He probably got bit.
Fucking Eugene. And then the whole Eugene thing from the first 2 episodes, the therapist's husband, we finally get that explained. Like, what's the point at this point? Like, why do we need to see this now?
I guess they thought that people were really wondering about what they were going with in this. I had honestly like almost completely forgotten about this character and even happening.
We kind of already know, but we need to see it apparently.
Well, it's just like with the burn. They've already revealed all the reasoning behind everything and where everybody stands, and then they're like, "But let's go back and show the thing that we already said happened." It's like, okay. It's kind of weird to give spoilers to your own show, but you do you, Druckmann.
Yep. So they eventually find Eugene. There he is. There's Eugene. And he's bit. They clearly see that he's bit. He wants to see his wife before he dies. Joel says no, then reluctantly agrees. Ellie like runs some sort of test with him. And then they're like, Joel agrees and promises Ellie for some reason that he will take Eugene to see his wife. And like I don't think Joel would say that. Joel would be like I don't know. It just kind of came off a little forced to try and sell some sort of contrived deception between Joel and Ellie for her to eventually snap on him.
Yep. And they're very far from the village, from Jackson. And Ellie is really stupid. And Eugene pulls a fucking gun on them and says, like, I'm going to kill you to get back. Yeah. Luckily, he's too stupid to load it. Which is probably why he got bit in the first place. He's probably trying to shoot them with an unloaded gun. But it's just like this forced thing immediately where Ellie has to be stupid and Eugene has to be an asshole to put everybody in danger.
Ellie's got to be alpha and give orders to Joel. We are taking him back. And then Joel agrees, but doesn't agree.
Meanwhile, they determine that he's fine in this moment, but you turn pretty fast in this. And it's like, we got a whole ass journey back, and you just want me to promise not to shoot him the entire... What if he starts writhing and going, ah! Like, are you just going to make us keep carrying him back just because I promised?
Yep. So Joel takes Eugene off, like Ellie goes to get the horses. And then Joel walks Eugene out to this area, and he's like, gotta kill you, bro. Sorry.
And he says some line, I think they wanted to be profound here. They really emphasized it where he goes, I just wanted to see her face one more time. And Joel's like, if you love someone, you can always see their face. I'm like, what does that mean? Okay.
Yep. And he's, I swear to God, I thought we were just going to see like his head explode here, but no.
No, they didn't give a gunshot.
He's like, well, you see like birds fly away, but like it's silent.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I see my wife, and then you get these birds flying away.
My wife.
There it is. Yeah, it's like he fires. There they are. Yeah, you get these like birds flying away to signify that Joel took the motherfucker out. Man, took him out.
Okay. So they already forced conflict by having Joel make a promise that he wouldn't make and not just immediately shoot as he probably would have whenever they first ran into him. And now he says that he'll tell the wife what she needs to know, basically, whenever they bring the dead body back, which the wife is the therapist.
Yeah. And we're getting to that scene. So, so does Joel tells Ellie what he did right here.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, I shot him. I don't know why. Maybe he would lie. I don't know. You're already lying to her. And you can see Ellie is upset at Joel here. Look at her. Just look at her face.
And the sun's like setting, which they took a long ass time to get back here, which means Eugene was going to turn before he ever got back here. Like, that was such a stupid decision for them to make. He was never going to make it all the way back and get a nice conversation with his wife.
But we gotta get this to, so basically, like the turning point for Ellie and Joel's relationship is this fucking Eugene guy.
Yep. Way to go,
like
Eugene.
Has like nothing to do. Yeah. Had nothing to do with like anything going on. Just they had this hanging in there and they needed something to do, I guess, for it.
It's the old emotional argument over logic. It unties everything.
And look, they're dragging him wrapped up like they dragged Joel wrapped up in episode 2 at the end. Oh, the foreshadowing, you guys. Great, brilliant writing from Druckmann here, isn't it?
It's just like George Lucas. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So here's the wife coming in. They like wrap him up, and then Ellie's standing there. This just made me laugh.
Oh, yeah, so he just outright lies in front of Ellie, who he knows is pissed.
Yeah, so he just he tells her that like that he ended it himself, and then Ellie is like, no, Joel shot him. He wanted to see you again, and Joel shot him.
Yep. Ellie is a bitch and the sloppiest setup for a conflict
she wants to torture. She tortures this poor woman whose husband just died, and she's already sad. And then she makes it 10 times worse by saying that Joel mercilessly killed her. Look at this. And I don't know, just Bella Ramsey's facial expressions just really take me out of this personally.
If I was Joel here, I'd just be like, well, she's retarded. I apologize for her. I don't know what she's talking about right now. It happened how I said it. Clearly, I'm the more mentally stable of us two.
Look at this helmet that she used to wear back in the day.
I still make her wear it around the house. Otherwise, she gets knives in her head and shit. It's for her own safety.
Look at this helmet, you guys, that she used to wear back in the day. Come on.
Yeah, really. I feel like if I were the therapist, I would listen to Ellie say this and I'd be like, uh-huh. Okay, honey. Anyways, Joel, what happened?
No idea. Oh, serious face. Like serious Bella. I don't know. Bella Ramsey's, I said this, are Bella Ramsey's facial expressions. They just don't work. They just don't work. I'm sorry.
She has like 2 of them. It's either goofy smile that just looks completely out of place, or
smile, or like unbelievable rage, anger.
Ellie mad.
Not serious, serious, but not serious face. Serious, meant to be serious face, but I just can't take it seriously. So then, chat, we jump into probably the best scene of the entire season. The New Year's Eve party. We get the New Year's Eve party, but from Joel's point of view. And what do I have on this? Oh, this was a 9-month jump, I believe.
Yeah, because that was her 19th birthday, was her first patrol. That's what they were just doing. And then it jumps, the 9 months to the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm. So we get this scene again, but from Joel's perspective. And we get Joel sitting with Tommy and his wife, race-swapped wife. And then, we get Dina and Ellie dancing again. And then Seth the bigot, where's he at? Where's Seth? There's him getting his ass kicked. I don't need your fucking help. There's Seth on the ground where he belongs. There he is, dropping the D-yikes word.
Hmm.
Nailed it. And so that's when Joel knocks him down, and then we get the I don't need your fucking help. And then we go to the porch scene, which is the scene that, according to Druckmann, they had to get right.
As Ironheart would say, iconic.
Yep. So what we didn't see in episode 1 was that when Ellie walks by, she actually turns around and comes back to talk to him. And then we get more sad Joel. We get really sad Joel here.
Well,
Like
this
the
is a
saddest
big
Joel
reveal
we've ever got.
I'm pretty sure this scene, they save it for, as Alex would say, they save it for the very end of the game. I'm pretty sure in The Last of Us 2, it's like supposed to be the big emotional reveal that, oh, she knew and she started to forgive him. And that's supposed to be very sad. Because she doesn't figure out about him killing the fireflies in this scene in the game. And this is a huge change that I think makes the storytelling even worse. In the game, she figures out that he killed the fireflies because they go to the hospital. And she finds recordings of them like saying, oh, this guy killed all of us. Oh, I can't believe it. We have to move out, you know? And then he confesses to her there. She gets pissed. They don't talk for like years or whatever. But then she has time to actually forgive him. So it makes a little bit more sense because this is the scene where she comes back and starts to like forgive him and stuff. In this scene, she figures out the truth, is incredibly pissed off, and then immediately forgives him. Like it makes it make even less sense. It's like, what you just skipped the whole arc that you made in the game. Like, what are you doing? I don't know why they made that change because like the Eugene storyline and that shit wasn't in there at all. It was like she found out, they're ostracized for years, and then she starts to. That's why they're not like broken up for 9 months or whatever because of some random other argument that they had.
Yep, and Joel is sad as well. And he starts to cry. He starts to cry. She starts to cry. Yes, Ellie comes back. We get girl boss Ellie. She's like, if you lie to me, I will never speak to you again. We are done, she says, if you lie to me. And Joel just stands like, this is where I'm like begging the show. I'm like, can you just please have Joel tell her to go fuck herself? Like I would have been so sad. It would have been so satisfying just to hear Joel say, you know what, Ellie, fuck you.
He should have pulled a Star Wars Sexplained. I don't know if you saw Melvin's video where he finds the clip of him going, if you don't think politics should be in Star Wars, save it. And that's the big clip. He's just be like, hey, Ellie, save it.
Yeah. But, you know, we got to demasculate Joel even further. Like, this isn't even Joel anymore.
He never
defends part 1
himself.
of the video game. He never does. This isn't even Joel anymore. This is somebody else.
As soon as she says, and they could have made a cure, he just kind of like nods silently. I'm like, no, Joel. Explain the situation. They had you for like 3 hours and decided to kill you before you woke up without your consent. And then also the chance of making a cure extremely small, and they were going to destroy their one living sample. And also, even if they made a cure, they have to distribute it to the whole world. And by the way, there's already 1 million zombies out there. It's not like they just suddenly turn back into people when they're deteriorated and covered in fungus. Like, Lord. It made no sense. And he's just like, yep, I did it. Well, I was wrong, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. No, he's like, I'd do it again.
Mm-hmm.
No, so he didn't say he was wrong. And they have a good cry. Angry, serious, but sad Bella. Not serious, but I can't take it serious. More sad Joel. Again, this isn't the Joel we wanted. We didn't want sad Joel. And then, so basically it ends with Joel tells Ellie everything that happened. And then she just says, like, I don't think I can ever forgive you. She's like, but I want to try. And then that's the end. That's the end of the argument. So basically we're supposed to believe that, okay, Ellie's trying to forgive Joel at this point, and then episode 2 happens, and then Joel dies.
Mm-hmm. It's all just emotional argument. They don't get into the logic of anything. They're just like, yep, there would have been a cure for the world, but because you love me, you decided not to.
This was the scene as well. We're going to get to it when Druckmann was like, Joel, that we had to get this one right. This is a very important scene. We have to get this one right. Druckmann says in the inside the episode, which we're going to get to here shortly. And then here we jump back to the present. And I don't know if you caught this, but apparently Ellie has escaped the WLF base.
Oh, is that just like a quick flash at the end?
Because I watched flash forward.
Yeah.
So she's walking back to I guess to Tommy, Jesse, and Dina.
Yeah.
And she just escaped the base of the WLF where she was in the basement where they were shooting at her. They're not searching for her or anything like that. She somehow managed to escape all off camera, and she's walking back. No infected chasing her, no WLF chase. She's just walking down the middle of the street. And we're just supposed to believe that nobody is following her. Nobody caught her.
There was only one entrance. They made a point of that in the last episode too, where she kills Nora, I think it was, where she kills Nora. They have the fucking thing sealed off because the elevator shaft had collapsed and everything, and they only had the one stairwell and they sealed it off. So they could have just stood there with guns at the entrance to the first basement and been like, "Well, she's got to come out of there sometime."
And then that was the episode. Congratulations, we did it.
Woo.
Yep, rainbow plot armor, I guess.
The penultimate episode.
Yeah, it was dinner time. Yeah, exactly. It was dinner time. They all took a break from chasing her down and everything. So the penultimate episode, yes, and then we get the finale next week. Who's excited? I know I'm not.
So hyped.
I'm excited for it to be over.
Hype. 7 out of 10.
So, I guess maybe by default, this was probably I guess this was probably the best episode by default. But I still thought it was terrible, especially the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it had the characters that we actually care about, just by virtue of being a flashback. But it also kind of assassinated them in the worst possible way.
Yeah, it really did. So I don't even know. It's just you can't even. It's like you're trying. If you ask which is the best one, it's like I got maybe just for the 20 minutes at the beginning, which was kind of decent, but it just falls off the cliff with Ellie going into bitch cunt mode.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
And just the most contrived way to get him to conflict. It's like, oh, how do we get Ellie to not trust Joel when she hasn't figured out that he lied about the fire? We'll just have him randomly lie about something else and then immediately disobey his promise. And it's good storytelling, yes. Well, how are we going to get the therapist and Ellie to hate him so much? We'll have him just lie blatantly in front of her whenever they get back, immediately for no reason. He could have just said, he started to turn, Ellie wasn't there, I had to shoot him, I'm sorry, we tried to get him back. That would have been more believable for everybody.
Or he took off running, or he turned on me or something, whatever the fuck. Nope. Contrived as fuck, man. Jesus Christ.
And I'm sure the shills will say it's a masterful story. Oh my God, that's why the therapist doesn't like him, bro.
Yep. They cried their eyes out too, apparently.
Oh my. The thumbnails will already be crying even before
yeah, they already are. Oh, they 100% already are. So let's jump to the real quick to the inside the episode. Which some of this, so it opens with a funny quote from Pedro. So I got that here for you guys. Hopefully HBO doesn't block the live stream again for daring to cover the fucking inside the episode.
Craig and Neil continue to stay committed to this.
Do I have it at ×2? No, I have it at 1.5. All right. Greg and Neil stay committed to, here we go.
Committed to this source material that everyone loves so much.
Pedro, look at the audience score. I don't know what else to tell you.
But clearly this was filmed before he saw that. Clearly this was filmed on the set, and clearly this was given to him to say. Everyone loved the second game so much.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at the score for the second game. That came out in 2020.
uncompromising in the vision of that adaptation.
This character means the world to me. I've been with this.
Yeah, definitely. That's why you killed him off.
This character means the
I think
world
if
to
he meant,
me.
I think if this character meant a lot to you, you wouldn't have sidelined him, you know, to push the lesbian whammon, Druckmann.
You just don't understand my complex storytelling.
In the vision of that adaptation.
This character means the world to me. I've been with this for many, many years. You've done it justice and then some. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Thank you. Thanks, man. You guys.
Boo.
Yay! Let's all get in touch with our feelings. Hug it out, guys.
Hug it out, bro. Come here, bro. So yeah, I feel like this is a goodbye to Joel, to Pedro for the series. I feel like personally.
Poor daddy Pedro. Oh well.
And then I think the next one I got is like at 40 minutes here. Turn it down somewhat.
When we were talking about how to lay the season out, we knew that we wanted to return to Joel, not because we felt like people would miss him. We all miss him. We're going to miss him.
Wow.
But rather because there was something beautiful about a return.
But because we needed ratings.
Contextualization of the events that happened between season 1 and where we meet Joel and Ellie again in episode 1 of season.
So like, again, I said this earlier, like if you want to, why not just do that from the start?
Because he can't admit that his non-linear storytelling in the game sucks,
Right,
so he's
there you-
translating it into the game.
Yep, there you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Druckmann's like, no, it was brilliant the way I told it. Let's do it that way again.
Everybody
Even-
loved it. It won Game of the Year. Fuck off. The critics voted it Game of the Year. The fake.
Only toxic masculinity prevented the user score from being higher.
I thought, did you have anything else on this? I have one more for later.
No, I mean, we said most of Joel has a savior complex for protecting people. One of the, I think it's either that director guy or maybe it was Pedro that say that, where I'm like, oh, he has a mental condition. That's the only reason that he protected Ellie, of course. That still doesn't explain why the fuck he randomly lies.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay, when was the last one? So it was 9:15. I had another quote here. Let's see. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, this is the porch scene, right? When Druckmann says this is a very, very important scene, chat. How important this scene was.
Is telling her the truth.
Making a cure would have killed you.
Then I was
And Bella, sorry, Bella, I'm just not buying it.
supposed to die. That was my purpose. My life would have fucking mattered, but you took that from me.
What is with all the F-bombs as well? Like seriously, it's like they're trying so hard with like the F-bombs. Like she's a freaking boss. You know, she's such a boss that she has to drop F-bombs all the time. Like, just get the fuck. Like it seems so forced.
Druckmann dropped one in the post episode in this video. He drops
did
it.
he?
He drops
Oh,
it
God.
somewhere, and it sounds. We mentioned it earlier in the season when he'd said one of these where it sounds so unnatural when he swears. He sounds like the sixth grader or something that's swearing for the first time, and he's just like, it's so fucking awesome. It's like, whoa, Druckmann, tough guy.
This show I made is so fucking awesome. Don't look at the audience score, which is at 39 now, by the way.
And of course, Joel doesn't come back from this line with like, your life does matter. You matter to me, blah, blah, blah. They would have killed you uselessly. Nope. He's just like, I guess so.
The porch scene was maybe the most nervous I've ever been directing anything. I went up to Pedro and Bella right before, and I just wanted to let them know this one means a lot to a lot of people. And I don't know why I was nervous, because they're both so brilliant at what they do.
That was a really special day.
Wow, I know why.
It was very important to so many people. Yep, and you fucking fucked it up.
He's like, I don't know why I was so nervous. And then it shows him watching every Ellie scene, and he's just like, oh God, why did we pick her? No. They have a camera fixed on him the whole time.
I think he loves the fact that they picked her. I think he fucking loves it. I think she's non-binary because probably Druckmann was like whispering in her ear during season 1, like, you could be a non-binary. It'd really be a good thing. It'd be a good shield for the show from criticism if you came out and started claiming that you were non-binary. I'd really appreciate it if you do that.
Ellie, have you ever liked something a boy liked? Oh, that means you're non-binary, okay?
Good fucking Lord. So yeah, that was pretty much that scene. Everything.
Yep. Oh, and he said that everybody was crying when they watched it. He's like, everybody was crying watching the porch scene, so I know that they did it perfect. Oh, they're so amazing. This big old circle jerk on set.
100 fucking %. Jesus Christ. Anyway. All right. So
no
what did
Dina
you guys?
In this episode? 0 out of 10.
Yeah, no Dina in this episode. Oh, she was in the episode. She was in the flashback. They were dancing together. She didn't have any nude scenes, but she was in the episode.
That's true. A different angle.
Yeah, they had to, they couldn't let us, they made people like Seth a little bit too much. They had to have the last scene we see him in is the toxic bigot scene again. The last time we see him.
That just made me like him more. I don't know. Not the target audience.
Clearly.
Saying
Seth just says what we're all thinking, says what all the people in that 39% Rotten Tomatoes audience score think.
He was really just pissed because Dina just slept with him the night before. He was like, what the hell? Thought we were...
Yeah, it's going to be probably 2 weeks from now. Yeah, everybody's going to completely forget about it. You're not going to see Ellie again, so probably, the finale of season 3?
Yeah, well... I guess you'll see like glimpses of her, and you're probably near the beginning of the season until.
Yeah, they're probably. I bet they do like maybe some more of the build up to killing Joel, or maybe the immediate aftermath of it. I don't know.
They'll do different perspectives, like they did at the dance in this episode, where like they'll do it from Abby's, point of view and stuff. Yeah.
It's fascinating to watch. Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It really is like Druckmann and crew are in such denial about that game that they came out and they made this show and did the exact same thing and got the same exact result. Like, look at the audience score. Let me go find the audience score. I'm going to talk for a little bit. I'm going to look up the
what they do change does make it worse though.
Score.
Like I mentioned how they made the conflict, like Ellie and Joel get to where they hate each other. It makes so much less sense in the show to where they have to make them just be dumbasses for 3 straight scenes, at least Joel, in order to create the new conflict rather than just have it be logical. At least that part was logical in the game. And then the other thing that they changed, was near the beginning, whenever they have the massive mob get triggered, right as a blizzard happens, right as Abby arrives, it like adds an extra miracle of God that gets Abby to get Joel alone. And that was a change from the game where it's like, where the hell did this massive mob come from? Oh, you just had them happen to find them in the snow at the exact right time after 9 years or whatever.
Yep. So this is the audience score for season 1. Let me move my screen real quick. No, I almost left the fucking StreamYard studio there. God damn it. Thing I didn't. Like, yep, John, you're on your own, buddy.
Well, and they added a few. I mean, the Pride Parade shit wasn't in the game. Pretty much everything that they seem to add from the game, it only makes it worse. That's season 1,
season 1. Yeah, season 1, 86%.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 2, look at this. 39%.
It's the green one. That's not so good.
It's amazing. And they all cry. It's review bombing. It's toxic. I mean, dude, you had, honestly, like, I still think the worst episode was episode 3 from season 1. I still think probably that's the worst episode in the entire series.
Because that's the most because that one, if you guys remember, that was like an hour-and-a-half episode.
That was it was like an hour and a half. No infected, no zombies or nothing, of just gay filler, like a gay Lifetime show or
And
something.
the reaction to it. I saw people that don't even ever talk about game anything. They weren't covering the show. They'd be like, we have to talk about a very special episode of The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Season 1 had that episode in it. And despite that, it's still got an 86. So if these, homophobes, racist and everything were going to review bomb something, don't you think they would have review bombed season 1 for that episode? Wouldn't it have made sense? Wouldn't it have made sense for them to do that? And it didn't happen.
Well, anybody who didn't love that episode is a bigot. That was the response. I think that might have been what got me thrown out of some group whenever I said I didn't like it. It might have been some. That was where I got,
because I was into the show for the first 2 episodes, and then we got that. I was like, what the fuck is this? I want to get what we got in the game with like Joel and Ellie going through his compound, like fucking up infected and everything. That's what I wanted.
And
but no, we get the flowers not in front of the flowers.
Bill was awesome in the game, and Bill was also gay in the game. They made a joke about it where Ellie picked up the magazine and it was like a naked dude on the cover, and she was like, "Oh, why is it sticky in between the pages?" Oh, but that could be misconstrued as homophobia. That's the word I was thinking of. That could be misconstrued as that because they're making jokes about it, so we can't have that.
Good Lord.
Joe was on screen for the last 45 seconds of the episode.
So I just want to look through some of these and hear
a powerful piece of cinema.
Look at this. 8.5 out of 10. There's ample source. These are people I'm assuming have seen the whole show. It's off to a solid, maybe not.
Can I just say I don't like this is a completely other point.
Look, it's 9 out of 10.
Jeez. Well, what would have made it a 10, I wonder?
Fans of the... Wow, listen to that. John, okay, listen up, John. Fans of the games will be very pleased with how faithful this premiere is to the source material while expanding beyond what they already know. Newcomers, do not read spoiler. Get ready to let your jaws drop.
That doesn't even make any sense. It's very faithful, but also it completely changes it. It's like you're contradicting yourself.
While it expands beyond. Yes, it's faithful, so it's not. They gave and the first episode was not. They had that whole fucking therapy thing with Joel. That wasn't in there.
Yeah. It's it's such like a Weasley vague way to try and get out of anything. It's like, it's different, but in the ways that it's the same, it's also wonderful. It's like, oh, so it just can't be bad either way. Okay.
Holy shit, we got a rotten. One rotten. When writers see themselves as smarter than their characters, it rarely results in truthful TV.
That's definitely a true statement. Who said that? We should all go subscribe.
Globe and Mail, top critic.
Wow, he's a top critic who said that. How dare he break from the establishment?
Right? He's probably fired. Oh, there's Rachel Leishman of the Mary Sue. Pascal's 5 out of 5. Perfect. What a shock.
I bet she plays a lot of games. Show us your trophy list, Rachel. I got 218.
This is the chick that got into it with Star Wars Theory on Twitter.
She got into it with Nerdrotic, I think, about Doctor Who, where she was like, "Oh, you're a fake fan," and he posted this giant picture of his collection of all these figurines. And he's like, "Show me yours, Rachel," and she never responded. That's why I was just like, I have 218 platinum trophies, Rachel. Show me your gamer credentials. Here's a whole shelf of games. Oh, wait, they're over there.
And let me pull up more. Wow, they're hiding the rest of these, I guess. They're not letting me search. They're hiding the reviews.
You got to pay for Rotten Tomatoes Plus.
Oh, my Lord, fuck off. Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm just assuming that I have some paid service to... Yeah, and I'm sure all the audience ones they're all bigots, and it's been botted. It's all Russian bots, I bet.
Yep. It's amazing, really. You see such a discrepancy between season 1 and season 2, and rather than thinking, same with the game as well, and rather than thinking, okay, what did we do to cause this? right? Like, what did we
Yep.
do? What creative decision did we do to alienate a large portion of the fan base? And you're going to see that with the viewership numbers as well. Rather than say that, it's review bombing, it's racist, it's sexist, it's all these terrible, terrible people who, by as we just saw, liked the first season for the most part. I personally didn't, but I liked the first 2 episodes, like I said. But after that, I was done. And then, like, even the rest of the season, I didn't really like either after that. But like, they lost all those people, and again, like those same people who they're mad and getting massively triggered at and making excuse after excuse after excuse. Those same people like the first season, but rather than like say, what did we do? It's, oh, they're just terrible, terrible people. Yep, homophobic incels review bombed it.
I have to say, with that Bill episode, now that I'm remembering it in the game, because I replayed the first game, that their relationship was better in the game, and what's his face, Frank, wasn't even alive for a single scene. They told a better story through finding letters, through having you talk to Bill about it, and then he discovers his body and he does like a little sniffle and he's just like, you fucking idiot, because they like had gotten an argument, separated the town and everything, and you find him dead and it's this tragic thing. I'm like, that's such a better story than just, hey, we love each other, now you have cancer, oh, so sad, let's kill ourselves.
Yeah, they completely and they completely removed it from the game, the whole fucking action sequence. We didn't get one. In fact, like, Bill had all those like traps and everything set up.
His character is just completely different.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
like, we had to make Druckmann, he had to make the best episode of television ever.
And then it encourages you that, you know, if you have someone that you care about that dies, you should also kill yourself. It's basically the message at the end. It's like presented as this romantic thing. That was the fucked up part. I was like, what are they doing here? Like, they're presenting this as a positive that he just did that.
Holy shit, man.
Oh my gosh. Glitchman Omega. Too soon.
Glitchman being a little toxic in the chat.
Speaking of which, 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that still beats Biden if he had tried to run for re-election. His approval rating, that is. Yeah, but that episode, it took away a lot from the game.
Yeah, am I going down? I noticed it says on my StreamYard that my internet connection has gone shitty.
Oh, good. I saw you jumping around a bit. I thought maybe it was mine
really. I look
out.
okay.
Yeah.
I look okay on my screen, but I don't know how I look. Let me pull up the.
It's
stream
not horrible. Like, I still understand you and everything. It's not doing the robot voice or anything.
Let me look at it real quick. We're just wrapping up anyway, so at least it's At least it's happening now.
And they added other stuff in the first season, like that random. It was like some comedic actors that they made the villain in Missouri, which I also forever hate the first season because they go to Pittsburgh in the game and they go to, I think it's like Kansas City, Missouri in the show. So instant 0 out of 10 for me personally, being from Pittsburgh, and I never get to be in games.
Holy shit. Rotten Tomatoes already got caught paying for positive reviews. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
You sound like a Gamergate chud thinking people could do favors or get paid for reviews. Journalists are perfectly, whatever, moralistic people always. How dare you? Bella looks almost tolerable in 240p.
Yeah, too bad it didn't too bad it didn't help her out on the screen when we had her up earlier.
You know, if they'd have been adapting like a PlayStation 1 game with the pixelated like weird faces, they could have gotten away with casting Bella Ramsey. That's about the only time that you can get it. Like Resident Evil 0, you cast for that. Maybe you can get a Bella Ramsey in there.
Okay, now it says my connection is back. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of jumping around. It was jumping around a little bit yesterday, but I don't know. We'll see. We have a storm or something outside. I don't know. It shut off. Actually, my internet shut off. Every time I turn the camera on, it gets worse. It shut off the other day for like a whole afternoon and evening, and then it came back on.
Turn off your torrents.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6 anyway, you guys. So glad we made it through most of the stream with a good connection. But yeah, finale, you guys, next week we're gonna do the finale episode. Last one for probably about a year and a half, 2 years or something till season 3. If it even happens, wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't.
Well, after doing watch-alongs for Andor, at least this show has the decency to keep itself to 7 episodes and not completely be filler for 2/3 of it.
Pretty much.
At least I'm not falling asleep. I'm just kind of laughing at it.
Yeah,
Not in the
pretty
ways
much
that it
all
intends.
pretty much it's all it's good for. It's fun. Like, seriously, it's fun to, again, like if I didn't have this channel, if we weren't ripping the shills for it, which we are triggering them, by the way. If we weren't ripping the shills on it, I wouldn't even be watching this shit. But we are grinding through it. We are grinding through it indeed. And yes, next up is D.E. Ironheart. That's approaching faster than you might think.
Oh, yes.
Can't wait for
Iconic.
D.E.
The
Yeah, we're going to be
iconic
talking a
Ironheart.
lot of D.E. Ironheart on Shill watch-alongs on Wednesday, you guys. Going to be talking a lot of it. I'm just going to put my camera down because every time I put my camera up, it gets worse. So, John, what do you got coming up on your channel this week, dude?
Well, speaking of Ironheart, I just put out my totally genuine, not at all making fun of the shills reaction to Ironheart, the trailer. One of the parody type ones. And then I finished reading and have all the notes down and everything. So I just got to record voiceover for the Agents of the New Jedi Order, Agents of Chaos, Part 1, Heroes Trial. It's the 4th book in the New Jedi Order series. So just finished that one up and just got to do the review now. Throw in some pictures and some voiceover and get it going. And then I'll probably finish up that duology and then start
Good shit.
jumping into the more of the real EU, that is, not the Disney one.
Yep, same here. I just finished the Darth Bane trilogy just last weekend. So getting into my next one. I think it might be Thrawn, but we'll see. Yeah, so I'm still working on the Captain America Brave New World shill movie. It's coming along very well. Hopefully we'll have that up no later than Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, you guys, shill watch-alongs, probably going to have some crying Last of Us shills and a lot of Ironheart, a lot of freaking out over the Ironheart trailer ratio we're going to have as well. So far, I think Chlamydia Burns is the favorite for top shill of the week, which would put her in second place, tied for second place if she were to win. But we got that. And then on Wednesday night, make sure to tune in on the main channel. And also on the main channel over the weekend is the real Star Wars celebration with myself and the Gatekeepers Alliance. Nights 1 and 3 on Friday and Sunday will be on this channel. Night 2 will be on Darth Melvin's channel. Night 1 will be the movies. We're going to be talking about the only 6 canon Star Wars movies, which are episodes 1 through 6. And then Jesus Christ, night 2 on Saturday will be on Darth Melvin's channel talking about the expanded universe. And then night 3, we're going to be doing a shill watch-along special. We're going to celebrate real Star Wars by ripping on the shills. So Sunday night on the main channel, a special episode of shill watch-alongs with the Gatekeepers Alliance. And we're going to be bringing our adult beverages. So it should be some good shit going on there. And then, keep your eyes out for some videos in the meantime, you guys. And, I think that's it for tonight. Next week, you guys, see you guys next week for the finale of The Last of Us. And I'm sure it'll be terrible. All right. Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys when we see you. Later.